Everybody is talking about pickleball, so I took a lesson from a high-level coach and then played some doubles to find out what all the fuss is about. Was it enough to convince me to switch from tennis? Let's find out. My name is Ian. I'm the founder of Essential Tennis, where over the years, I've helped over 1 million tennis players improve through my videos, my podcast, and my best-selling book on Amazon. Before I tell you what I've decided, I'd like to share the biggest things that I think pickleball has going for it. Things that, frankly, I think the tennis world and community can really take notes from and learn from to make our sport better. The first thing pickleball has going for it is it's so easy to get started. I know a lot of tennis players like to make fun of pickleball because it's such an easy game.
It looks so easy, almost too easy.
Why is everyone smiling?
Sports aren't about smiling.
But the reality is that's a huge draw to the sport. Here's 4 things that make pickleball significantly easier to pick up than tennis, even if you've never played any kind of paddle or racket sport before.
It's a nice day out, you know. That's a point for us.
I apologize.
I promise we're not that good.
No.
First, there's no overhand serve, which in tennis is by far the most complicated and most difficult shot to master and just get comfortable with. And pickleball completely eliminates that problem by forcing people to serve underhand. Secondly, a doubles pickleball court is more than 3 times smaller than a tennis court. That's a significant amount of real estate that you don't have to worry about in pickleball. Thirdly, the kitchen in pickleball actually encourages slow, controlled play instead of everything being about like power.
Harder! Harder!
The 4th thing pickleball has going for it in terms of ease of starting is there's no death by lobs in pickleball. Tennis players on average hate getting lobbed. In pickleball, there are lobs and there are overheads, but it's much more about dinking and driving and volleying and much less about the lob and the overhead, which removes a big friction point for a lot of tennis players. The second big thing pickleball really has going for it over tennis is it's just faster moving and more engaging. There's more activity and action happening per minute in pickleball than there is in tennis, and there's 4 main reasons for that. The first one is there's only 1 serve in pickleball. It's way easier to put it in play, and if you miss it, you just go to the other side. So there's no screwing around with like 2 balls and maybe like you get a lead on the first one and you get to redo the first one and oh, you missed it, so now you gotta do your second serve, and it's much more simple and everything keeps moving much faster. Secondly, once the point is over, because there's so much less real estate and everything is much more small and confined, it only takes a second or 2 to get set up for the next point. Whereas in tennis, you've got 3 times more walking to do just to get set up and like get set and ready for the next point. And the other part of it is going to get balls. I know it sounds silly, but because the court space is 3 times bigger in tennis, when you need 2 balls to be able to hit both serves, so you got to go walk and get the ball in the corner, and that just eats up time that you could be doing something, and pickleball keeps the activity level going. And fourthly, on average, the points last a little bit longer in pickleball because of the dinking back and forth and kind of trying to set things up. So with the less space, the single serve, much less time wasted getting set up, and the points are a little longer, it just feels like much more dense. And so I frankly found that really enjoyable, that there was just kind of constant action. If you're enjoying this video and it's already been helpful, do me a favor and click that like button. It helps with the algorithm. Thank you so much. The third big thing that pickleball has going for it is the sense of community and inclusivity.
Where are you guys going?
Hey guys,
come on.
We just live right down the road.
I was really kind of blown away by this. My first real experience with pickleball. The coach I was working with was from out of town, and so we were in courts that we've never been on before. Jordan, my friend, the coach, he cold called this 4 or 5 level pickleball player and said, hey, my name is Jordan, I'm this level player, I'm in town, you want to play some doubles? And 20 minutes later, 2 4 5 players showed up at these random courts that we were on. They were like, hey, super happy to see us and just ready to just play and get some action. And in my experience being around tennis for over 30 years, tennis can be, not always, please understand me here, tennis can be a little bit cliquey, it can be a little bit exclusionary.
Listen, we've had so many great years together, and I just think we're moving in different directions tennis-wise.
Oh, is this because of the accident?
I just have not had that sense about pickleball at all. It feels much more open and welcoming, and to be totally honest, I think tennis players on the whole could kind of learn a little bit from that type of community. The 4th big thing I think pickleball has going for it is another kind of cultural difference that I noticed. Jordan did a fantastic job of coaching me and getting me ready. Then these 4 or 5 players showed up and we played against them. And while we were playing these points, it became really clear to me that I was the weakest player on the courts. And yet, when the other team had the advantage in the point, and it felt like I was about to get pounded out of oblivion by the opposing team, a lot of times they would hit it to Jordan, who was way better than me, like a much stronger player than me. And I asked him about it later. I said, Jordan, why was it that they didn't just pick on me the whole time? And he said, oh, well, they wanted to make sure I got a lot of balls so that it was worth my time. Just a little anecdotal thing, but I just thought it was cool that it's understood in pickleball. You want to kind of spread things out and make sure it's really valuable time for everybody, even when there's a little bit of a gap between the strongest player on the court and the weakest player on the court. So pickleball has all of those great things going for it, and it is a fun game and it's super easy to pick up. But was it enough to entice me away from tennis and get me to start investing some time in pickleball? Well, in short, no. So why is that? For me personally, there's 3 big reasons why I'm gonna stick with tennis 100%. Reason number 1 is I love the bigger physical challenge of tennis. Honestly, I spent like 3 or 4 hours on the court with Jordan that day, and he kicked my butt in the lesson, and we played like 2 or 3 hours of doubles, and I was just totally wiped out. But I still love the bigger additional challenge of the extra space, more athleticism required, and I'm still in a place personally, physically, where I feel like I can still really put out my maximum and my best as an athlete. So I want to keep doing that and challenging myself the most I can, and I feel like tennis is the best way I can do that. The second reason why I'm sticking with tennis is I love the big mental challenge of singles. In pickleball, doubles is hugely emphasized. It's kind of the opposite of tennis. In tennis, everybody is obsessed with the top singles players, but nobody really cares about doubles. And if I did play pickleball, I feel like it would have to be singles, both because it would be a much better physical challenge, and also I really like the one-on-one mental challenge. And tennis just rolls all that together into one. So that's a big reason why I'm gonna stick with tennis. The third reason why I'm not switching is I've been in tennis 30 years, and the longer I'm in it and the deeper I go and the more I understand about the game, the more I love the game. And the more I love the game, the more I want to learn about it, and the more I learn about it, the more I love it. It's fantastic.
He's the best.
I just can't see myself leaving that relationship with tennis. It's brought me so much joy and happiness. It's taught me so much about myself and about life. And it's given me so many relationships with students and with players, with other content creators. And I'm just not even thinking at all about leaving tennis and doing something different. So how about you? How do you feel about the game? Have you switched? Are you maybe splitting your time? Let me know in the comments down below. Thanks for watching.